We fight the good fight when we unite. We fight the good fight when we unite. 'Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right. This is our tribe.
Right. Hello, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. It is so good to be here with you again today. We have some of the most amazing entrepreneurs on the show with us today that can't wait to share and talk with you. Let's have an awesome hour together. You are watching the Coffee Shop Conversation Show. I am Nestene.
And almost forgot that would definitely make me pee.
Okay. So we've had a bit of a break, obviously, right? This is our first show back for this year. We're very excited to be here with you guys. So if you're tuning in for the first time ever today, we want to welcome you. We want to welcome you with open arms, especially if you're an entrepreneur from anywhere in the world. This is your hour to just chill, find out some really cool, interesting facts, connect with experienced entrepreneurs, and get the support that you need in order to grow your business.
This is also a space where we get to answer questions from entrepreneurs around the world. So if you're out there and you have a question, ask it. We will gladly jump in and discuss it. It's nothing better than putting a whole bunch of heads together, coming up with a solution.
For sure. And guys, we have an absolutely amazing guest here with us today that we will be getting to shortly. Just before we get there, I would like to remind you that the reason that we're all doing this, the whole Explore ProTech thing, if you're maybe still wondering, like, what's all that about? We're looking for the 500 most fun, authentic, caring, ambitious entrepreneurs in the world, because we want to put you together, we want you to join our community, and we want to work together to see how far we can get towards being the 500 on the Forbes 500 list, because we freaking deserve it the way that we're working together. So if you want to find out more about that, please click on the booking link to book your meeting with me, Nestene, and Peter, and we will take you through the process and we'll help you figure out if this is the community for you. Okay, that is it in terms of announcements for today. So let's get into the chat, shall we? So I want to just remind you, this is currently on the screen. You can see all these people popping up and popping out and popping in, like, oh my goodness, what is going on? These are all the entrepreneurs from around the world that we've invited to share our space today. Right, so it's like we're now going into a coffee shop together with all of our best friends from around the world, and we are literally just going to have a chat. So during this chat, you're going to see us speaking a lot to our guests, and everyone in the panel is going to be putting up their raise hand emoticons like so, if they're happy to get involved in the conversation to help us unpack Annelize's entrepreneurial story. So that's what you're going to see. And then every time they speak, they're going to give their answer, and they're going to end with their name, their business name, and just a little bit about what they do, so you can start to get to know them as well. Remember, all of their LinkedIn links go into the description on the show, so you can go and check it out over there and connect with them, whoever you resonate with. So whoever you see on the show and you're like, oh my goodness, that's my person, like, I love this person, that's a cool person,
Gotta meet them.
Yeah, you literally, all you have to do, and this is revolutionary, like literally you cannot do this anywhere else. All you have to do is say, I saw you on the coffee shop show. Can we grab a coffee? And every single one of these beautiful, incredible, amazing entrepreneurs will say, sure.
Let's grab a coffee.
Because we have done the legwork for you. You're welcome. Okay, so on that note, let's get into the show, guys. I have got to introduce this incredible woman, human being, person, insane entrepreneur. She's absolutely incredible. I've known her for just over a year, and I have to tell you what this person has done in terms of entrepreneurship, like I haven't seen it done this way before. So, Annelize, welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you here with us today. So guys, for those of you that don't know Annelize, she is, Linda, you're going to love this, my dance teacher. So Annelize literally is that crazy person that had the audacity when COVID was, closing down businesses right before. She was like, you know what I want to do with my life? I want to own a dance studio. Like, that is what I want to do. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And you know what? She did it. And the reason why I invited her to be here with us today is because of the way that she's done it. So I don't know how many of you, but maybe think of something you can relate to. Maybe you go to a gym, maybe you go to a yoga community, maybe you go to a dance studio, who knows? A lot of these open up and they fall flat on their faces straight away. There's like one person in the class, two people in the class, getting people to show up
if they arrive.
Is a battle. And they kind of like struggle along, right? It's a very difficult model to get right. Now, Annelise's story did not go like that. So she started during COVID, but literally she's created this community where it's almost like a family. People are so included. Even Peter's part of the community. I mean, he's been on a pole.
Yeah, and I can plank.
So Annelize, I just wanted to find out, and I wanted to invite you, and this is where I want to get the panel involved as well. So guys, if you have something to say or something to ask, please raise your hand during the course of this conversation. But this is now where I want to hear a bit more, and let's help unpack Annelise's story. So Annelize, do you want to tell us about what inspired you to open up this studio, and what has been the secret to your success?
You just need to unmute first so we can hear your voice.
Hi, everyone. Like you said, I'm Annelize, and I own Vertical Secrets in Table View. It's a pole dance fitness studio. But it's really more than that. It's actually a community that I've built up with all my ladies, all my students. And my passion comes from where, I was always the one trying in the background and, not really having that community around you, people supporting you. So my whole thing is about supporting my students and actually getting them to understand and believe in themselves to actually see that they can actually achieve anything in life, inside the studio and outside. Because really the confidence from the studio actually goes over into your own personal life. And I felt it with my own life as well, because I started pole dancing in 2017, being a lack of confidence, job jumping, and, never really fitting in anywhere. But from that, and obviously when I had the opportunity to take over the studio and rebuild it, COVID had happened, and there was quite a year of really, really bad. I think the studio went down to, I think, like maybe 5 or 6 or maybe 10 students. And, with my amazing instructors, which is Ashley on the group, she's joined us today as well. With her, and my other instructors, we've rebuilt this whole studio back to where it was, and even better, because it's flourishing. We have over 90 students. It's not just students, it's actually just friends, and we all feel like family, and we treat each other with respect, build each other up, and it's really a question of, how far can we take this? And for myself, I want to take this and spread this message really across the world. It's not just about the fitness. It's not about just doing a pole move on the pole or getting a bruise. It's actually the community we've built with our instructors and students, and how, amazing it is. I am blessed. I am really blessed, and actually to have this. Because every night when I come home from classes, I feel exhilarated and energetic. And every time my students leave classes, they feel the same. When they have a bad day, they get in there, they feel good, they go home, and it just boils over. And I get messages from people saying that how it's changed their lives, how they've noticed that whatever they've done in class and whatever they've done is brought over in their own life, and they've realized the difference within a month. Not even with a month, I think a week or two, they feel the difference already. And imagine that whole story going through your whole life, being part of this community, staying there, how much it improves your quality of life. And like I said, every person needs that bit of a support and confidence boost that they can do anything they want, and achieve it, and not to be scared of it. I mean, I am still scared sometimes. Sometimes I still feel nervous, but then I just think, okay, well, just take it on, and day by day it just goes. And I just feel that, I don't know, it just gets there. Sorry, I see Neville's got a hand up.
No, I really love that, because I think for me personally, I think the difference is that you didn't start a business to start a business. There's a difference between when you're creating revenue and you see people as revenue. There's a difference between seeing people as revenue or seeing people as actual human beings, and creating a space where they can actually be themselves, which is so strong in creating community. I think it's an absolutely beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Shall we move over to? I'm not too sure if Ashley had her hand up as well.
Yeah, Ashley, do you want to jump into the conversation?
I just want to say, so Annelize and I actually started dancing together, and I'll never forget, in the middle of COVID, Annelize turns to me and she's like, "No, I'm going to take over the studio." And I looked at her, I didn't say this, I'm sorry, Annelize, but I thought there was something wrong. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be there for her. And one of the things that Annelize won't mention is how much hard work and effort she puts in. And I love the fact that she mentions people, because Annelize is all about people. It doesn't matter whether you work with her, whether you're in her class. She's basically just trying to find out what can she do to make your experience as an instructor, as a member of her class, better. And she really does go above and beyond. And I think, Peter, you said it fantastically, where it's all about people. And Annelize is just, wow. I think, and her belief in people as well, because sometimes Annelize believes in you more than you believe in yourself. And so you work harder for her. So as an instructor, I can say that I definitely work harder for Annelize than I would for a lot of other people. So I just wanted to put that 2 cents in.
That is amazing, guys. I'm hearing, what's nice with having these actual stories come up on here and speaking? Like, it's like you hear the textbooks come alive. So a lot of you guys are like, you're expert entrepreneurs. The culture that needs to be created, the corporate culture being so important, how you work with people, good leadership, being very, very connected to your why. And those are all things that I can already, from the little bit that we've spoken to Annelize and Ashley now, that we can see coming out of this conversation, is that
culture is strong,
very strong culture. Being able to lead a team, having a team of the right people,
having a team of people that will follow you.
Yeah, being able to create followers, being able to just work with people. I get so down because that's the one thing I can't do. But that's why I have Peter. So it's good that I'm here. I'm learning. Guys, this is amazing. Awesome. Neville, let's hear from you. So keen to have you come into the conversation.
Yeah, I just had a question for Annelize about how the community developed. I mean, what kind of things did you do that encouraged participation and engagement with the whole process of reestablishing the studio?
So what I've experienced is, obviously when people message me, I'm straight away answering them. There's no way of taking a little bit of time before I get back to them, because if someone thinks of something, you have to catch them in that moment, because otherwise they'll start rethinking and doubting themselves. And then a month down the line, or a week down, or even an hour down the line, they'll feel, oh, but I can't do this. I'm not good enough for this. I get a lot of people saying that, oh, but I am this, I am that. They have all these excuses of why not. And unfortunately, I am a person, I won't give you an excuse to say no. I'll give you a million reasons why you can. And not just leaving you to your own can, I will actually help you in achieving that. And I would never brag about myself like I can do something better or I am better than you, because I myself struggle and I still I'm growing on my own side. But I want you to join my journey. And in that fact, that's how I get people to stay, because now I make them excited about something they can do and I prove to them that they can. And I help them through every way and actually to get to that point. And at the point when they actually reach the goal, I mean, that point is just where I'm just excited as them as they got this, because I have students that they come in as a beginner, and the one girl actually won a competition last year, and she doubted herself. She didn't want to do the competition. She didn't want to do this. But now she feels and she flourishes. She's amazing on stage. But it's not just about the stage. It's about how she's grown, how much. I mean, she's a doctor in real life. She's got a very serious job. This is a space for her to release and come and just have fun. And if you fail, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just build up from there. Laugh about it, get up and do it again. And that's just how I just, get people straight in. Don't let them think twice about it. Because this moment someone starts thinking about something, they will find excuses not to be able to. And I don't give them that time to think that they can't, because I get them into it straight away. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. And along with what Ashley said earlier as well, there's just something there about the culture that you've created, and the culture is very much about what you can do, not what you can't do or what you can't do yet. It's just about how can we support your journey going forward. And
Yes.
I'm curious because everybody will do that in a different way. So I was just kind of curious about exactly how you did it, because thank you.
Yeah, it's just about supporting and just being them and convincing people that they can actually do anything, as anything in life. I mean, and that's why, like I said, when they get in there, they give me the negative first thing, I give them a positive back. And that positive really seems to stick, because I haven't grown this much. Because when I started taking over COVID, we actually had a lockdown straight after when I bought the studio. I mean, I went down to nothing, and I had to rebuild it completely up. And you can't, like Nestene said, you can't really keep people if you don't have a good product. But I have people coming back over the years, past years coming back, and all of them are staying and they're feeling the same. And like I said, Ash and I joined the studio long ago, and even from the previous way it was, it's a whole different studio. It's a whole different dynamic. My students feel comfortable, and obviously, like I said, it's just about growing people. It's not about, you're not just a number, like what Peter said. It's not a number. But with that, business grows because you have these community people around you.
Thank you. This is Neville Starrett from Synertia Counseling and Coaching. I help therapists to run their own private practices.
Oh,
Nice.
Stunning. Thank you, Neville. What an excellent question. I loved everything that came out of there. I think, we take these things for granted, or like my academic brain just has a thing of like, I just automatically dismiss these things. But something as simple as making people like they feel like they belong. I think that is what it kind of comes down to, and being that positive. People are attracted to positive energy, no matter what your cause is or what you're positive about or what you're trying to do, but involving them in that journey and making them feel like they belong and are part of, I think, is a lot of the...
It all becomes part of the journey. If I think about it, it's very small changes to your own space that can create a culture. It's very small changes. Including people, making them feel part of, making them feel comfortable, making them feel valued. These are all things that literally take seconds to do. Having a conversation with somebody, if there is a point, and just getting to the point and getting it done without actually going, so how's your day been? Or how are you feeling? Or taking the time to get to know it takes seconds. It doesn't take very long. These are small tweaks that we can actually change in ourselves and make people feel included and part of. It's very important. You'd be surprised how putting in just that little bit of effort into your culture creates such a huge difference. Huge difference.
Marlena, I'm super keen to pull you into the convo.
Hi there. Annelies, I take my hat off to you because I've done the Pilates thing for years, and that's I understand the struggle when people come and then they go away again. But I have a question for you. Is this your core and your sole business? Your only business?
So my husband also has got his own company. So at the beginning, I did help him. We do electrical supply, and he's got a big quite supply business there. So I was helping him for a while, but like I said, because of the passion I felt and the change that I felt in myself doing this pole fitness, that's why I felt the need to take it over, because I wanted to have everyone else be on the same boat as what I did. So at this moment, yes, it is my sole priority. I teach a lot during the week. My body is broken. I wake up in the morning like an old lady, like can't get out of bed. But you know, I'll get up and I'll do it, and I'll do it again and again because I have that feedback from my students. I've got that positivity from them. That they give me back, I give to them, and that is just where I'll continue. And I would love to grow my business bigger. I would love to share this message bigger around the world. I mean, there's a lot of potential for it. There's a lot of studios out there. I do get that. There's a lot of the same business out there, and it's a growing industry as well. But I feel, you know, even if I heard from my students, the type of environment that I create at the studio is not the same that they find somewhere else. Because some have come from other studios and they come to me and they stay and they have a whole different view of how I do things. Because it's not about me, it's about you. It's about how you feel in the class, how I can make it better for you to feel that you are empowered. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female, or it doesn't matter anything about the race. You are welcome, and your journey will be your own, and I will just help you with that. So for me, if I can grow this into a next studio the next time, I would love to do that, because it's a good message to share out there. Because I think a lot of us actually need it. There's a lot of us are broken inside. We just don't admit it. But when we have that something that's just like, you know, sparks a little light inside you, it doesn't matter if it's pole or not. You just build on that. And that is creating a whole new person that you want to become and that you are valued to be as.
Thank you. That did answer my question, and very well said, because that's also how I feel about people that to just shine the light there. I'm not going to say any more because you've actually answered everything I needed to know. My name is Marlena. I'm from Self and More Coaching, and I help people release their trauma so that they can get on with their lives and on with their businesses just the way you have. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're amazing. Thank you, Marlena. Guys, I just have to say this quickly. Spoiler alert, okay? This tribe, you know me and Peter. Like, we don't just like do stuff, right?
Well, we do.
Well, okay.
We do
Anyway,
just do stuff.
we need Annelise's brand of teaching to become a global brand, and we need this tribe to jump in and help make that happen. Okay? So you guys can go back to your drawing boards and think of your special skills in your industries and how you could possibly help make this happen. Because I think, you know, and I'm so happy that Annelise has like such big dreams for this brand, because I think it's a brand that deserves to be out there. It's not a brand that just deserves to be, you know, I have access to it because conveniently it's like 5 kilometers from my door. Everyone around the world needs to have access to be able to feel the way that I feel once I complete a class with Annelise. So go think about that so long. Yes.
Just from an outsider's perspective, I don't go and I don't do classes.
I've tried to manipulate Peter into doing so.
She has tried to manipulate me to go and do so. However, I'm the one that gets to see the difference. I'm the one that gets to see the person that leaves to the person that comes back. I'm the one that gets to see the confidence levels, the change in character, the change in thought process, the change in thinking about her own abilities. And over a period of time, it may be small changes every time, but over an extended period of time, it's a huge difference. And sometimes the confidence to actually step into a space that might not have been there now is. So this is not just about it being a dance studio or a pole studio. It's not about that. If I look at the results, I think that a lot of spaces in the world fail to get those results from the people in their spaces. So the culture in this space is so strong that it is making a difference. And that's what I get to see. So when we had the opportunity to actually share this, we were jumping at the bit. We were like, yes, please, let's do this. Let's go. Let's jump to somebody else. Who was actually
Gareth.
next? Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth, let's pull you into the convo.
Hi there. My first coffee chat. Thanks for having me. Annelize, you sound like an amazing person. You definitely have a great culture going on there. The thing I've always struggled with in my businesses isn't necessarily creating the culture, it's transferring the culture. So I've got two questions. My first question is, are you still the only teacher in your business that's sort of front facing and pushing that culture? Or have you brought on staff and managed to train them into that same culture that you're trying to bring to your business?
To be honest, yes, I had, when I started, I had initial instructors that was part of the business. They did not really see the value that I had towards this, this building the community and sharing the same, not scaring people away, but actually supporting them. Yes, so I had to, for now, I have like Ashley, she's on the same boat as me, and I had to get staff in that sees the progress that I want and how to support the students in a way. And I do work with my instructors as well. I have 4 other instructors at the moment, and all of them are building this community the same as me. So they value the view that I have, and they obviously take on that same value and they share that with the students as well. So the students, doesn't matter if they're in my class or in my instructor's classes, they feel the same. Because I mean, Ashley as well, she's an amazing instructor, and she's an amazing person, sharing that with people, building them up. She would always go and message people in the groups and listen, come join me tonight, and to make them feel good. So yes, all my instructors are on the same. I try to teach them, or teach, I won't say teach, it's just inspire them to actually build up people as the same way I would build up them. And that actually flows through from me to them to the students, and it comes back to me because the students will tell me how amazing the instructors are, the instructor will tell me how amazing the students are. So it's kind of my WhatsApps are never a dull moment. I answer questions up until 12 o'clock at night because of this thing, because people are just so happy to be here. And it's not about bragging, like I said before, about showing to the world what I can do and stuff like that. It's not just about that. It's about creating a safe space. If they want to share it, they share it, and I share it for them as well. But yes, I build my instructors and around that principle. If you have staff that is the same views at you, and then they can help you build a business, because without them I wouldn't have gone as far.
Yeah. So if I could press a little bit harder, I guess my question is more in your hiring process. Do you look for people that share the same vision and passion and then work alongside them and develop the culture together? Or do you set the culture and set up like a step-by-step process that whoever's interested in working your business but maybe doesn't share the same passion, or like I say, they want to be in the business, they don't have any experience, they don't really, the passion is not really in the right direction. Do you have a process to sort of address that energy of wanting to join your business and then convert it and direct into the passion and vision that you have for your culture?
I would be very careful when I take on new instructors. I mean, I have had people ask me for the job, but I haven't taken on anyone unless that's really I can see that they have the same passion towards the people. Because if you have one bad person in that group, I mean, you can't battle with that. You need someone to actually get into your group and build with you. And if they share the same passion, they share the same values, it's easier, I must say. But there's an opportunity actually to help them to actually feel that eventually and also work with them. So it's not about excluding someone because they don't have the passion straight away. But it's all about for you to create it in them. And if you can get it right to create that passion in them to actually be the same, I mean, that's amazing if you can do that. That's what I would do.
That's the thing I've always struggled with. And the only solution I've found thus far is to keep turning over employees until, because everyone says they're passionate and everyone's excited at the start, but you have to see over a 3-month period if that passion is real and consistent. And I've always struggled to sort of assess that at the start. But thank you very much for answering the question. I'm Gareth, and I'm the CEO and founder of Plausible Gaming and Navis. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Gareth. I totally relate to what you're saying. Like, so I'm just like listening. I'm like, what is she doing? Like, why is this working? They have brides and then it works. Like business doesn't work like that.
Sorry, for those of you that are international, she meant they have barbecues.
And then it works.
And it works.
But I was at one point in time with my previous business stuck in that turnaround cycle. So I totally get what you're saying about the hiring process. It's just, I think it's like Annelize has been very lucky and she's just very good. Ashley, you have something to add to the conversation.
I just wanted to say, I know it sounds, maybe I said the brides or the barbecues, it sounds maybe a bit trite or silly, but I think the fact that Annelize kind of brings us along. So there are times where I'm like, I really don't feel like going to teach tonight. And then I'll chat to Annelize about it. And I think she makes herself open and available to have us chat to her. So there are times where I have gone to her house and cried on her couch and, just talk to her about stuff. So I think firstly, she makes herself available, not just as an employer, but as a person. And it makes it a lot easier for me to follow her because of that, because I know that if she suggests something, it's got me in mind as well. So I know that she's got my back, she's looking after me. And also, I mean, you chatting to her, you can already feel her energy. It's very difficult not to be swept up in that energy. I think people naturally see that when someone is leading you, it's more than just leading by example. I think it's creating this energy that becomes infectious. And and she's constantly organizing little get-togethers with just the 5 of us instructors, and we get to bond and chat. And I think when you're in a bigger company, maybe you have all these team building things, and I feel like we kind of get the outcome of a team building without having to make it so formal, because it feels like this little family environment or this friend environment. So I don't know, Gareth, if that's helping to answer your question. I can say from personal experience, I want to follow Annelize because I love working with her. I love her as a person. So I want to be there for her, to help her in any way possible.
It definitely answers my question, but it's not the answer I was looking for. It's a lead by example, which is hard, and I guess you have to do it, but I was looking for a shortcut.
Yes. Gareth, we're like the same person. But that is so beautiful. Like, me and Gareth will learn from you, and Annelize and Ashley and Peter.
I'm about to do something because I've met everybody in this space, either in a group setting or individually. And there are some people in this space that actually haven't met each other. So Gareth, do yourself a favor, book yourself a coffee with Richard. Do yourself a favor. We had a session that went way over and beyond the time that we were supposed to be speaking for. And if you're looking to pick somebody's brain in regards to culture and pushing those boundaries, book a coffee with Richard.
Oh yeah, Richard is a culture specialist. So it would be really cool to pull you into the convo as well, Richard, if you put your hand up later. Yes. See, he literally wrote a book. So today you can see your book in practice, Richard. That must be absolutely amazing.
So let's just go to the next person that's queued up, which is
Linda, another person that basically wrote the book on absolutely everything business. Linda, very, very keen to hear your thoughts because 1, I know you dance, and 2, I know you're like this super technical freaking business person. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
I'm not going to talk about the second one. It's the first one that is the topic for today, right? So yes, Annelize, I think this is a beautiful movement, and I want to call it exercise with love. It needs to go around the world, right? And the reasons I say that are a couple of reasons, which I'll share. One, I dance, but my daughters also danced modern and tap and ballet and all the rest throughout their entire childhood, and they were part of teaching and a SAT organization, with teaching them all the different levels and medal exams and dancing on stage. And it was so pressurized, you know, that if you weren't 100% perfect, you felt like you're not good enough. I know that happened not only to my daughters, but others. You know, of course, as a mother, I thought they were the best dancers in the world, but the teacher didn't think so, you know, and actually pointed them out quite regularly, those who weren't good enough. My dance teacher, one that I've had for a long time now, is also a best friend of mine, and she is like you. She just invites anyone who would love to dance to come to her dance classes. It doesn't matter if you have 2 left feet. It doesn't matter if, you know, you aren't technically strong. It just doesn't matter. You're just going to have some fun. She does medals for those who want to, not forced to, and she does stage for those who want to. I love the stage, right? So I say to her, medals, forget medals. I don't need medals. I just want to be on the stage, you know, and we just she comes up with some most beautiful, fun dances, all sorts of dances now. We don't just do modern and tap, but we do, you know, funky stuff and jazz. And I love the variety and I love the attitude. And your story sounds so similar to hers in that she's always available, always a shoulder to cry on, parties like a cowboy with her you know, people. And the one thing that you might want to consider in the long run is she's actually got her extra, you know, her support teachers have come through the ranks. They started as 12, 13 and 14-year-old girls that have been with her for years and years throughout school. And then they did some exams. In this case, it's modern and tap and all that. But in your case, it's just obviously getting through different levels, and then they became the teachers, so they had the culture already in them. So it's just something to bear in mind for the future, to identify those girls that are committed to their dancing, or you know, and that they would love to do what you do and be part of it. So yeah, it's exciting. I think go for it. We'll do what we can at Explore ProTech to help you out. And I wish you all of the best with this new Exercise with Love movement. My name is Linda Dent. My business is Just Ask Linda Business Coaching, and I help my clients to grow with glee. That means building strategies for growth, learning, empowering others, and enjoying yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. How beautiful. I can definitely relate to the experience that you described, because that's like one that I've had, which is why I was also one of the people to go to Annelize and say, like, I've been to so many other studios and I've left so many other studios, and this one is home. I will not leave this one, like, ever, if I can help it. So I think that's definitely part of the difference. Really, really amazing. Thank you for pointing that out.
So much about that you managed to convince me to get on a pole.
For those of you that want to see the pictures, WhatsApp me privately. Okay, let's go to Lesetra. Lesetra, I'm so keen to hear from you. You've had decades of experience in business development and business. Tell us, what are your thoughts? I'm sorry, your sound isn't working.
He's not muted, so it's obviously a microphone issue.
Yeah, Lesetra, I think we're going to have to skip you for now.
Or we could play charades.
But maybe put it in the chat, and then I'll read it, or I'll read your comments. Put it in the chat.
Lesetra, it might be because you're using your microphone and something else when you join Zoom, and that has permission. So if you just like rejoin, it'll give you access to your mic again.
Yeah, so I think Lesetra, just leave, close down anything else that might be using your microphone, and then come back again.
Or just pop it in the chat and I'll read it out for everybody.
Oh, that is a
That is a pity. Yes, I was so looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Anyway, Neville, let's bring you back into the conversation. I see your hand is up.
Sorry, having not a mic issue, but a earbud issue. Just won't stay in my ears. So, I guess I'm hearing very much, Annelize, that you've got this wonderful, as Linda described it, a wonderful movement going in there, and there's a lot of energy that you're putting in. And I know as a business owner in my own business, one of my challenges is to actually sit there and say, well, okay, I'm giving out so much. How do where do I receive things that fill my tank so that I don't burn out? And that's, I guess, one of the questions. How are you managing that and making sure that, yes, you might wake up broken some days and still go and do what you need to do, but how are you making sure that you stay well?
Well, I understand that. Yes, I do feel sometimes that I do get tired. But it is quite a thing of when I get the energy back from the positive people around me, I feed off that a lot. Because if I don't have to walk into a brick wall the whole time or someone telling me no, I mean, it makes it easier for me to say yes. So it's all about giving that out. Yes, it's a lot of time. I mean, people feeding off your energy can take you down a bit sometimes. But like I said, when I get it back from them, that is when they refuel me up again, and then I can go again and harder. So, and the more people you have like that around you that gives you that energy back, you actually can go for a long time without even feeling exhausted, because it's not a negativity they give you back. They give you something positive. It might give you an excuse, but you give them positive and they give it back to you, and that is what I feed off. If I have that energy, like I said, when I come home from classes at night, I have to literally stay 2 hours awake before I can go to sleep, because I have so much energy inside me, and all these people's energy with me that it takes me hard to actually wind down and go to sleep. So that's why I can still answer a phone call at 12 o'clock at night. But when I sleep very well, because the energy is down now. I can sleep well. When I wake up, I feel the new energy for the new day and I get started. And yes, some days you feel like, oh, I don't have the energy today. But when you walk in class, they are bound to be one or two other or three other people giving that energy back to you, and they kick you up straight away. So that's a fact about what I think Linda said as well. When you have that, you can keep pushing. If someone doesn't give you this roadblock all the time, because if someone constantly tells you that you can't, no, I don't feel like this, that's draining on your energy. But if you can give a bit of energy, positive energy, and they can give that back to you, that little bit you get back, you can build on. And eventually they will feed you back more than what you deserve, more than you expected. And that is how I keep going. And that's why it's like I should say, the support, the emotional support, it doesn't really take me down as a person, because I take them up, I help them, and then they feel better and I feed off that energy. And that keeps me going. And like I think Gareth, you said something about like the people bringing in. I make sure and promoting from inside. I mean, students from my students now wants to become instructors or wants to do that, I allow them that, because like she said, it's already have that energy for them to build it up. I mean, Ash was a student when when I took over the studio, and I've opted to become an instructor, and she's done her training, she's got her certificates behind her, and she's now an instructor, but she's also feeding the energy back. So that is where I survive on that. Yes, definitely. It's just about transference of energy. You can't really throw it away. You just have to transfer it back to positive, and that feeds between people. Definitely.
I think that the proverbial nail has actually been hit on the head. And it's very important to surround yourself with people that not only follow your culture, but naturally already have your culture. You just end up including them in your own. I think that's really important, and the fact that instead of you constantly feeding them and having them draw on your energy until you're worn out, which is what we all consider burnout, where you are in a space where you're constantly giving, and it just gets too much, and then you have to go away, rebuild yourself, regain your energy, come back to have it happen all over again. And I think that was the key part that's missing. The key part that's missing is that if you have people around you that naturally follow your culture because they already have those same values, then the feedback just makes life so much easier because you're not only building them, but they're building you too. And I think that's that is probably one of the most difficult spaces to build. It has to happen naturally. It has to happen naturally. It's not something that you can write down 6 points, and if you follow these 6 points, everybody will feed you back energy. It just doesn't work that way. You know, sometimes you've got to learn from somebody else in a space where they naturally do that, which is why I think Annelise's space is so incredible.
Annelize, what did you study? Where did you learn this stuff?
She didn't.
Is it like one of those things like entrepreneurs are born, not made?
No, unfortunately. Look, my initial, I wanted to become a game ranger, but obviously life threw me in a different direction and stuff like that. So I didn't have the easiest, childhood around. I still have some family dramas and stuff like that. But I think all through all the years, I just had to create this happiness. I mean, I go out in the world every day trying to look at something. I mean, if it's a duck down the road or, something, just, a flower or something, just something positive, if you see that and you keep focusing on something like that every day, I mean, it doesn't matter how bad your day is, that one thing will just give you a little bit enough, to start your day over. And that is how I've tried to be. And it took me a long time. This didn't happen overnight. I wasn't this, I won't say happy or whatever. I wasn't this always, I had to take a long journey and work through myself, figure out who I was, not that anyone else's opinion of me dropped me down. Now I'm in a space where I can be silly. I can fall on the floor and just, whatever. I don't feel that someone is judging me anymore. I don't feel, yes, I'm nervous sometimes because, things are nervous outside, but I don't feel that people, are watching me in a way of judging me anymore. Because if they judge me, it's not related to me. It's, it's something maybe that's not wrong with them, but that's broken or sore inside them. But if you can see that, you can fix it, that person will also become that amazing person, that one you want to follow, that one you want to look into. I love listening to people's stories. I mean, I'm amazed by that. And I think through my years when I've listened to people talk and how they talk, and if they give me this opportunity to listen to their story, I'm actually amazed. And I would sit and listen for hours to something someone has to say, because it's interesting and you want to build on that. And hearing all through my life people's stories, I've kind of combined all of those stories into my own. And therefore, I've grown as a person. I mean, the person I am today is not the person I was or I see on a photo 10 years ago. I mean, I know who that person was, but I don't feel like that person anymore. I have completely gone over and just be on my own and bright. I mean, my husband as well. I mean, he said to me that he's been married to this 5 different women throughout our 17 years marriage, So, I mean, for him, I mean, he has to deal with me on a daily basis, and he's just, up and down with me, and he supports me. He's the best pole husband everyone can have, because he's at the backstage helping me, fitting up the poles and, helping the students washing the cloths, and, so, and it's good to have that support because he's supporting me on that side, and he's behind me 120% of what I want to achieve. He never tells me no. He will give me an explanation or say, okay, maybe we can try this. We'll discuss it, but he will never say no. And if someone doesn't say no to you, you are capable of just about anything you put your mind to, because that someone will be there behind you all the way. So in my life, yes, I am the studio, but now the sport I give out, and that comes back, and I give it back to my home life. I mean, so that's just the, like I said, it's a feeding of energies, giving it out, receiving it back. And that's how you build this community of people just, with you. I don't know. It's literally that's but yeah, how I feel about it. And that makes a passion there.
Love that. Thank you, Annelize. What a beautiful answer. Let's pull in Hendrik. Hendrik, you're a podcast professional, content creator, and you have a background in theater. So very keen to hear what you have to say on this topic.
It's actually not either of those backgrounds that I want to draw on for my short little comment. I'm also a hypnotherapist, so I know a little bit about habits. And there's a great book by Arthur Duhigg, by Charles Duhigg, called The Power of Habit. And he talks about corporate habits. And while you were discussing this, Annelize, it made me think that it seems to me that you are starting to incorporate some good habits into your business. So many times people go like, why are you doing something this way? No, but we've always done it that way. And if you go and look at the reason for that, it's usually a crisis which nobody knew how to solve, and they just found a solution and did that. Nobody actually even thought, was it the best solution at the time? Or can we improve it later? It just becomes something we've done like this since we can remember. And I think habit obviously plays a big part in a business, like it would play in our lives as well. So the sooner a new business like yourself, it seemed to me, got into the habit of putting people first and, caring about people. And I think those sort of values need to become a habit in a business, so that you don't need to think about how to run this thing successfully. If you do it right in the beginning and establish those habit patterns, then you're set for life, really. About 60-70% of what you do is ruled by habit. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents from my other mantle that I sometimes wear. If you want to stop smoking, come to me. Otherwise, if you want a podcast, let's talk about talking podcasts and creating content and repurposing your content for your social media and everywhere else. I'm Hendrik from Bed Media. Thank you very much. And I'm going to get load shedding now, so I'm probably going to disappear.
Okay, thank you so much, Hendrik. I think that was such a valuable comment. Also, we have some comments in the chat. Jennifer and Nua saying to Annelize, here, the secret is embracing the person you become each day, finding your person to evolve, which is the icing on the cake emoji. And then Lesecha also typed something in there. He says, I didn't have a question for you, Annelize and Ashley. I just wanted to congratulate you for the motivation and inspiration you presented to us today. This is giving me so much energy to carry on with my passions. You are amazing. So guys, that is exactly why we do what we do, and why we will continue to keep doing this every single Monday. Even when we don't feel like it, we will show up here because we love each other, we support each other, and that's the secret. That's how we're going to all move forward in life.
Does this necessarily mean that we as entrepreneurs or business owners naturally are like this? No.
Well, some of us are.
Some of us are, and some of us are not. Some of us are just like business, and they're good at it. They are so good at it. They're good at the business. And some of us are just like people. I love them. Give them to me. Let me gather them. I want to hold them. But we need
in a cage.
Yeah, we need those differences. We need the entrepreneurs that are like, I'm no nonsense. Step in this ring. It's business time. And we need those entrepreneurs that go, oh, okay, come here, let me hold you. There has to be that balance. We can't all be the same. The nice thing is that we can access each other. So if we're the type of entrepreneur that are like, we're no nonsense, we do this, we do that, and we don't quite understand culture, but we are so business orientated, then spend some time with somebody that does understand culture. If you are just culture, but you know nothing about business, you need the person that is no nonsense, no frills, no bells, no whistles. This is how you do business. We need each other. So if you're one end of the spectrum or the other, connect with somebody that is your opposite, because they have your answers. You have each other's answers. It's actually not that difficult. It's not that difficult. So we don't need to be stuck as entrepreneurs. We can build the right relationships with the right people, with the right intentions, and grow. So
you never need to be stuck. And just because you showed up here today, we know that you're one of the entrepreneurs that are not going to remain stuck, because now you have all of these amazing new friends and connections that you can literally just reach out to. Remember, all the LinkedIn links in the description. All you got to do is say, hi, saw you on the show, let's grab a coffee. And every single one of these amazing people will be like, sure, let's do that. Annelize, thank you so much. And Ashley, for sharing your truth and your business journey with us today. I still think you're crazy for buying a studio in the middle of COVID. Like, what on earth? Have you seen the predictions? Anyway, but well done for turning it into the amazing success that you've done. You've inspired all of us. Thank you, every single panelist, every single entrepreneur from around the world that showed up today, that shared space with us. You shared your comments, your thoughts. You became part of the solution in the conversation. We love you, and we know you're going to be absolutely amazing going forward. Remember that what we're trying to do, guys, we're trying to, first of all, generate connections for all of these people. So go ahead, find their links, reach out to them. Also, we're looking for the 500 most fun, authentic, caring, ambitious entrepreneurs in the world. We want to help each other get onto the Forbes 500 list through pure love, support, compassion, accountability, all of those good things, community. So if that's you, book a meeting with me and Peter. We can't wait to hear from you. Other than that, let's see you on the show next week again. Please remember to like, click the bell, subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear from you. And until we see you next time, may all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true. Bye.
Bye for now.